Hello, everybody. This is Ron Dittmars talking to you from the Erasmus Academy recording studios in Brooklyn, New York. And we have with us today Jeff as our guest speaker. Do you want to say hello, Jeff?
Hello, I'm Jeff from Des Moines, Iowa, where we're warming up.
Great. Okay, so this is the second segment on Franz Kafka, a biographical sketch. And you see on your screen just a view of Prague, where he was born and lived. And then here is a portrait of his as a young man. And here's one of his even much younger, sort of in high school, or not even graduated from high school yet. And then we have the text itself that we're going to cover. So and in this section we are going to encounter an extended adjective construction, which you'll find in many cases in written German. But we'll identify it and describe it when we get to it. So Jeff, you all set?
I am.
Great. Okay, let's see. Let's see if you can see my writing here on the screen, just so we can see where we are. Um, okay, let's go ahead, and as we'll follow the same procedure, I'll read it aloud and Jeff will repeat after me. Please repeat with him, and then I'll ask him some questions about the structure of the sentence and as a way to unfold the grammar, and so we can all of us reach together an understanding of its meaning. Okay, and sorry for the script is not quite as clear as other scripts, but that's just the source that we had. Okay, going on, here we go. Kafka würde 1883, everybody,
Kafka wurde 1883
in Prag geboren.
in Prag geboren.
Als die Tschechoslowakei
Als die Tschechoslowakei
ein Teil des Kaiserreiches Österreich-Ungarn war.
ein Teil des Kaiserreiches Österreich-Ungarn war.
That's quite a lot. Okay, so up to this point, where's the verb?
Wurde geboren.
Good. That's the verb complex. He was born in 1883 in Prague. And then als introduces is a subordinating conjunction, so it always introduces a subordinate clause because you're always trying to find the verb in the main clause first, which is in the first part. Then as a subordinate clause, the verb will always go at the end. That's the telltale that you're in a subordinate clause. Okay, as Czechoslovakia was a, and then this is a part, and then you have the genitive, a part of the uh, Austro-Hungarian Empire. Okay, going on. Besuchte die Volksschule bis zur 4. Klasse, everybody.
Besucht die Volksschule bis zur 4. Klasse.
Good, and make sure you pronounce every letter like besuchte. Besuchte die, okay. And then, so besuchte really means he visited, but in English we really mean he attended. And this is a past tense. It's a weak verb. There's no vowel change, so it's besuchen, besuchte, besucht, with this te, which shows you that indicates the ending for these weak verbs in the third person singular. So he attended probably the elementary or the middle school, bis zur 4. Klasse, up to the 4th class. Then going on, das deutsche Gymnasium bis zum Alter von 18. Go ahead.
Das deutsche Gymnasium bis zum Alter von 18.
Und begann dann seine Studien an der Universität Prag.
Und begann dann seine Studien an der Universität Prag.
Good. I think you can make a lot of this out. So he attended without repeating the verb. It's just what other places he attended. The German Gymnasium. Bis zum means up to the age, Alter, of 18, 18. And then und, where's the verb after und?
Und begann.
Begun. So this is a strong verb because it's beginnen, begun, begonnen. Notice in the strong verbs there's a vowel change as the verb moves from the present into the past tense. And he began then seine Studien, his studies, at the University of Prague. You want to just go through and just read those first several sentences slowly so we can all listen and follow? Go ahead.
In German?
Yeah, well, in English translation, just slowly.
English. Oh, excuse me.
Mhm.
Kafka was born, oh, I'm sorry,
That's okay.
in 1883 in Prague, as Czechoslovakia was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. He attended the elementary school up to the 4th class, the German gymnasium through the age of 18, and then began his studies at the University of Prague.
Perfect.
Or Prague.
Great. Nicely done. Okay. Going on. Studierte Jurisprudenz, everybody.
Studierte Jurisprudenz,
Aber ohne Begeisterung.
aber ohne Begeisterung,
So wie Goethe und Heine, obwohl sich den Doktortitel erwarb.
so wie Goethe und Heine, obwohl sich den Doktortitel erwarb.
So up to here, where's your verb? Let me just erase the first part.
Studierte.
Studierte. So he studied. In other words, you know, you're obviously recognizing a lot of words that have that are similar in English. Actually, every word that you recognize that has a cognate in English means that that word has come from the German side as opposed from the Latin via French into English side. Okay, so he studied law, but without without enthusiasm. So wie Goethe, just as Goethe and Heine. So Goethe, for example, went to Strasbourg. He was sent by his parents, by his father, and he was ostensibly going to study law, but he just was reading Shakespeare and had this Sturm-und-Drang experience in Strasbourg. Okay, so just as Goethe and Heine, although he, which Goethe and Heine did not do, although he obtained erwarb for himself, sich. So if I were to ask you the verb complex in this clause here, it would be sich erwarb from erwerben, so to obtain or to be granted. Although he obtained the title of doctor. Okay, going on. An der Universität hatte den ein Jahr jüngeren Max Brod, everybody?
An der Universität hatte den ein Jahr jüngeren Max Brod
Kennengelernt. Good.
kennengelernt.
Good. Now, in this sentence is where we find one of these extended adjective constructions. And the way that you identify it is if you're going along here at the university, he had Dane. Now, after Dane, which is a definite article in the accusative singular, you expect either an adjective or a noun, but you don't get it. You get a preposition, at, or around. So you put a parentheses here, and then you go all the way continuing until you come to an adjective or a participle, and that concludes this construction. So the way that you resolve this is, at the university, he had become acquainted with the Max Brod, who was younger by 1 year. So in other words, you can't just run through this line linear fashion, but you have to identify where the extended modifier begins and ends, and then resolve it with a relative clause, just as I did it just now. Okay, going on. Der Schriftsteller Max Brod entdeckte, everybody?
Der Schriftsteller Max Brod entdeckte
Sozusagen den weit bedeutenderen Schriftsteller Franz Kafka.
sozusagen den weit bedeutenderen Schriftsteller Franz Kafka
Und forderte ihn.
und forderte ihn.
Great. Okay, so up to this point, where's your verb?
Entdeckte.
Good. Okay. Here's your verb. So he discovered. And where's your subject?
Max Brod.
Well,
Der Schriftsteller.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is the subject here. Der Schriftsteller discovered Max Brod, let's see, that is to say, the the widely more significant writer Franz Kafka. Okay, so here you have an adjective here, bedeuterin. So you make this a comparison. It's a comparative adjective, and this is the participle right here. Okay. Okay. Became acquainted with the or I'm sorry, discovered the widely more significant author Franz Kafka and promoted him. Forderte ihn. Going on. Die ersten Schriften Kafkas erschienen, everybody?
Die ersten Schriften Kafkas erschienen
Im Jahre 1907.
im Jahr 1907.
Die heute bekanntesten Erzählungen, die Verwandlung und das Urteil, 5 Jahre später.
Die heute bekanntesten Erzählungen, die Verwandlung und das Urteil 5 Jahre später.
Good. Okay, so here you have, up to this point, where's your verb, Jeff?
Forderte.
Okay, but that's the lessons, starting with die ersten Schriften
Oh, I'm sorry. Erscheinen.
erschienen. So the first writings of Kafka. Notice you can, on proper nouns, you can just tack an S on there to form the possessive. So the first writings of Kafka appeared in the year 1907. The most famous stories today, heute, the Verwandlung, the Metamorphosis, and das Urteil, the Judgment, appeared, understood, 5 years later. Okay, let's see. You want to just do that second half? Just read the English translation slowly so we can follow along, starting with at the university.
At the university, he met the 1 year younger Max Brod. The writer Max Brod discovered, so to speak, the widely more significant writer Franz Kafka and supported him. The first writings of Kafka appeared in the year 1907. The most famous stories, The Metamorphosis and The Judgment, 5 years later.
Great. Okay, I made one mistake when I was analyzing this for some reason. This is actually the whole subject. The writer Max Brod, obviously, this is the subject here, right here. The writer Max Brod discovered the widely more significant writer Franz Kafka. So this is obviously your direct object. Just to make that correction. Great. Okay. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you later on. Thanks so much. Bye bye.